What's up?
Hello.
Tyler, Keith, plugged on. There we go. We're going to talk about Star Wars, The Rise of Skywalker, the 9th Star Wars film, or the 11th.
The 9th saga film, and then it's...
Or the 12th. There was that Clone Wars animated movie.
There's also, those two really bad Endor movies, but, you know.
Yeah. Anyways, this is the 9th movie in the Skywalker saga, the end of the saga, and the follow-up to The Last Jedi, the greatest film of all time.
Maybe not that much.
The internet will hate me.
But definitely not as bad as most people say.
Absolutely not. I watched it again yesterday, and I like that movie.
Same.
Fight me.
Same. I think maybe it's a little bit more closer to like a middle of the pack Star Wars movie.
Oh yeah.
But like worse than the prequels, my ass.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I know.
I like how this is a quick. One aside, I'm gonna out my girlfriend here with this. Her thing is that she says Attack of the Clones is a good movie as long as you only watch the parts with Obi-Wan in it. And I say the same thing where Last Jedi is a good movie as long as you only watch the stuff with Rey in it. But my opinion's not valid when I say that. So,
does she not like The Last Jedi?
No.
Really?
She does not like The Last Jedi. And then she thinks I'm dumb for liking it, but you know.
It's not that.
It's not a bad movie. Yeah, it has problems,
Whatever.
but yeah.
This isn't about The Last Jedi. We're going to talk about The Rise of Skywalker, directed by J.J. Abrams, who directed The Force Awakens. It was going to be directed by Colin Trevorrow, who did the Jurassic World, the first Jurassic World, and then he got kind of booted off the project, but still had credits.
Yeah, I mean, because he probably had some ideas that he threw out there that they kept.
Yeah,
I'm also just I'm very interested to see if he ever comes out now the movie's done, to say like, this is what I was gonna do.
Yeah,
and just to see what was it that got him kicked off this movie.
Yeah, before we get into it, we'll keep it spoiler free to start.
Yeah,
I want to see an alternate timeline where either all these movies are directed by the same director, whether it's J.J. Abrams doing it or Rian Johnson doing it.
I would agree to that. But mine's maybe a little bit more things, the same sort of thing. I want an alternate timeline where you see these movies done under one creative lead.
Right,
like
Kevin Feige, sort of person.
like have
Yes.
J.J. Abrams be creatively
yes.
like, him talk to Rian Johnson, be like, I'm doing this in the next one,
yes.
or this is what we're planning on doing in the next one.
Yeah, I think when we look back on the trilogy, I think that's maybe the biggest thing that it suffers from is just that lack of direction, and I don't think Kathleen Kennedy is really the right person for that. I know she gets a lot of shit, but like they need a Kevin Feige.
They do, which I mean, well, they're getting him now.
True,
they are getting him now.
They need someone that's just gonna say, this is the way we're going. Maybe not all these movies need to be connected or anything like that, but just this is what we're doing. Because this movie it is a reaction to The Last Jedi, but I think it like there are certain things that they're just like, yeah, fuck that with The Last Jedi, but then there's things that they also took from The Last Jedi and used in smart ways and made them better that makes The Last Jedi a little kind of a better movie.
Yeah,
in a way, and that's the one thing. Like, and it's almost like talking about a TV show every week too. We all love doing it, but you don't know the whole story. Like, shit can change.
Yeah.
Like, for example, one thing people don't like about The Last Jedi is how it addressed Rey's parentage.
Mm-hmm.
I liked how they did it, and I think
did too.
Here it make that what they did in The Last Jedi it pays off in this movie, in my opinion.
I think
there's some tweaks they could have made to The Last Jedi if there was a cohesive, creative person behind all of these movies that would have made The Rise of Skywalker a little bit better. But there's some things like that. But then this movie is also a reaction to The Last Jedi, in that The Last Jedi, I think, starts with incredible momentum, and then the movie just kind of gets stuck in a rut. It gets stuck in a rut with the First Order chasing the Resistance. It gets stuck in a rut, especially with the weakest part. Yeah, Finn and Rose, the whole Canto Bight stuff. It's just awful. It's boring. It's incredibly boring. So it gets stuck in a rut there. And that's so... The movie kind of fizzles out, you know.
And then picks it back up again.
Yeah, I do like the last bit, because it all culminates in a pretty interesting spot. But then this movie is just nonstop. 100 fucking miles an hour.
It's 2 movies. Like
It literally
there's
is.
enough stuff in here for 2 movies. That's watching the movie. Probably the first thing that I noticed, which was the first half an hour of this movie, is a little jarring.
A little bit.
Like, it's just idea after idea after idea. And I'm just like, man, like, y'all need to slow down. You could have put these 2 scenes next to each other, and it would have maybe paced things out a little bit more. Like, it's just going from here to here to here to here to here, all over the place. But,
do you like the movie?
I do.
After sitting on it?
I do. I do like the movie. It has its problems. Mm-hmm. Probably maybe to me first and foremost, which is funny that, again, probably as a reaction to The Last Jedi, this is a very fan servicey movie.
In good ways.
In good ways and in bad.
Bad, yeah.
Like, it's... Like wink wink nudge nudge fan service I'm all about. Or just here's a cool moment, it's just a moment, it doesn't really mean anything. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like there's one, okay, I can't, maybe I'll explain when we get the spoilers, but there's a couple of that, but then there's some bigger moments where it's just like, oh, you're doing this and it's, you know, it feels forced. Fair enough. The thing is, I think the main thing that this movie suffers from is that is the fact that it's a good end to the saga, but not a good end to this trilogy. It kind of puts ending the trilogy nicely, kind of like a back burner, so that it can kind of wrap everything up. Very much so. I mean, Palpatine's back, and so well, I guess not too much of a spoiler. It's like the get go. They're like, hey, boom, he's back. And it's kind of like, oh, like, okay, we're getting right into this, and that kind of goes with the pacing thing. Just a whole lot happens. Now, granted, I think there's some great things. I think everything with Rey and Kylo Ren is done fairly well.
Oh yeah,
with it's like best part. Poe Dameron's a bit more of a character in this movie, which is great.
Well, they threw the 3 new main characters of Poe, Finn, and Rey. I like how they kept them together almost the whole movie. Because they work so well together, especially Poe and Finn. And that's another thing about The Last Jedi. It kind of gets stuck in a rut of, like, didn't know what to do with certain characters, especially Finn.
Yeah, Finn.
And Chewie. You know, and in here, you know, it just, like, let's just put these characters together and give them shit to do.
Yeah.
At a fucking breakneck speed.
Yeah.
To where you have... No, don't do it. To where you have no time to really react to things like you should.
Yeah, the other main issue that I kind of feel is that, like, none of the new characters really do much. The one, is it Zora? She's good. I think they kind of use her, and she's kind of utilized kind of well.
Yeah.
The other one, I'm gonna have to look up her name.
It wasn't in Hannah or something.
Something like that.
Yeah.
I didn't see the point of her kind of being there as much.
I liked her, but what I thought was weird is that, and this is just one of those things. Like, the movie didn't take enough time to flesh her out at all. There's a connection between her and Finn. And how they kind of bond, and then those two seem to bond more, but the movie never really explained it or had time to let it sink in to where you felt anything with it.
Yeah.
You know, and also, like, this is one thing that was a total reaction to The Last Jedi, and she got way too much hate for it. And that's
Oh.
Rose's character.
Yeah.
Who is in this movie.
But barely.
Not as much, which is a reaction, but maybe it's something she wanted, to be honest with you. Who knows? I could just be conjecture. But she got so much shit.
From the last one.
Like, I didn't like her character, but I'm not going to go out there and just be a fucking prick about it. Like, it's ridiculous.
Like she was like,
but there was a connection between her and Finn that they just threw that away.
Yeah. Like, yeah. But I think the action, which there's plenty of action, was all really, really cool and really well done. I was worried about it from the beginning, but I do think everything the way they worked Carrie Fisher into the movie, I think it works. I think it works very well.
Yes, and her ending.
Yes, it works. Oh, it works.
The more that I thought about it, like, and that's a thing, like,
how do you do that? Like,
how they wrote her out at the time, because this movie's going so fast, it didn't hit me like it should. But then when you actually take a step back to think about it, you're like, wow, like they did that incredibly well, in my opinion.
Yeah. Like, I know there's a lot of people who think that they should have given her the send off and the tribute in The Last Jedi. But I think it works really, really well in the context of this movie.
Yeah. And also there's things here in this movie that happen, I don't want to spoil any of it, with Leia's character, that you learn that if we knew in The Last Jedi, could have made some things about The Last Jedi
make a bit more
better.
sense.
But once again, it's that cohesion that just was not there.
Yeah.
Like Rian Johnson clearly wanted to break things down with Star Wars, which I'm all for, but then you gotta go off of things that were set up for you. Yeah. And sometimes he just didn't do that. And that's kind of an issue. I like this movie the more that I think about it. It's not my favorite Star Wars movie. There's definitely things that I don't like, or that just don't hit me like they should. But the more that I thought about it, I'm like, man, and the way they did things, it's just, I think they did a lot of things really, really well.
Yeah.
And it just makes me wish that there was that creative force behind the whole thing, because it could have just been that much better.
Yeah.
First of all, this is by a million miles, in my opinion, the most beautiful fucking Star Wars movie ever.
Oh, yeah.
The lighting all the time is just unbelievable. The CG was great. Some of the planets were so fucking cool to see. Especially the main one that the movie kind of ends on is like, oh my god, I loved this. Just a visually stunning movie. And there's also just some really great performances. I mean, I thought Rey and Kylo, I think, were the best they've ever been. Adam Driver's just such a fucking great actor.
Yeah.
And he's just phenomenal in this. Ian McDermott playing Palpatine again was just like maybe the best he's ever been. It's like so there's just some excellent performances in this too. Also, fucking Oscar Isaac, I love him so much.
Yeah, like I said,
I love his
like
character.
He's an actual like more of a character this time around.
Yeah.
He's got
and then
stuff.
so that's another thing, is I feel like he went through some kind of learning situations in The Last Jedi. Mm-hmm. That was kind of his arc. And where he ends up in the situation he gets put in towards the end of the movie, I felt like because of what happened in The Last Jedi, it made that a little bit more meaningful. Yeah. What happens to him.
Yeah.
Which I liked. And I liked how they kind of worked that to come together as well. I thought that was good. But yeah, to me, this is the Fast and Furious of Star Wars movies, though. Like, it's fucking crazy. Just strap in. You're going to have a good fucking time watching it. And you're not going to be able to think a lot about a lot of things. And it's just a crazy fucking movie. And when you pull back and think about the plot of this movie, it's crazy. And it's
so much.
It's wild. And yeah. So I mean, I I do like this movie. I do think it does good things. It's an interesting way to end the saga, I think.
Yeah. Music's real good too.
Yeah.
Like they threw in. I tried to notice while we were watching it, try to see because they John Williams and his son had said they were throwing every major theme in, if for at least even like a hot second. I tried to see if I could notice any of the major ones. There's too much going on, man.
Yeah.
Again,
there's a lot. There's a lot.
There's a lot of movie to this movie.
Yeah. Even like, not spoiler, but Lando's back in this movie, which was a really fun thing.
Yeah.
Especially when he first shows up. I thought it was just fucking awesome. And then, like, just seeing some of some just new planets. I love when Star Wars gets weird with that stuff. And they go to a planet early on in this movie that is just fucking weird. And I love it. Like, everyone's dancing around and stuff. I loved everything about that. I wish that could have went on for an hour. It was so much fun to watch. But so I love when Star Wars gets weird, and they got weird with some things.
Yeah, I think maybe they could have condensed some of it down. I feel like there were in some ways just too many places they went to.
Yeah,
like they probably could have cut down on like 1 or 2 planets, maybe. Like maybe condense that one and the one where Kerry Russell's character's at. Like just kind of find a way to combine those two because. I don't know, because it just seemed like it very much is like we're going here and then we're going here and then we're going there and then we're going there. And it's like, and like if you go someplace for like a short period of time, like that's fine, or the home base world. But like, there's like 7 different planets they go to in this movie, and I'm like, man, just kind of keep it a little bit more contained.
Yeah,
but
that's the thing with just the breakneck speed. They're just like, we're not going to give you time to think.
No,
or stew on anything. Like just we're going. Yeah, I that's the thing. Like, in a way, I wish this movie could have been longer, but at the same time, I'm like, I'm not sure if it really needs to be.
Yeah, I would like to see maybe if
I just wish they could have fleshed out a few more things.
I was gonna say if they, I don't know if it'd be the first time they really do it for like a Star Wars movie. I'm assuming there's a lot of extra footage where maybe some of the stuff does get more pad time.
Maybe
do like almost like an extended edition of this movie or something, just to see some of the ideas that didn't quite make it and that flesh things out. That'd be cool.
Yeah, but they're also so. I think one thing that I wanted with this movie is because it's Star Wars, because it's ending the saga, and there's been so many things about Star Wars that is just pure hype and it's just amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to feel like I felt watching Avengers Endgame with this movie.
Oh, yeah.
And I didn't. And it's probably because of the pace of the movie, Like, Avengers Endgame just marinated with what it needed to do, and it just took its time, the perfect amount of time for everything. In this movie, especially towards the end, like, there's a lot of really hype, just fucking awesome shit that happens, and I was the whole time I'm like, this is cool, I'm having fun, but I wanna be crying because I'm so happy or something like that. It just didn't really happen to me.
Yeah, I want to see this movie again, definitely here, just to
I want to be able to pick up on some other things just because this movie goes so fast.
Yeah,
you probably miss a lot of little stuff like one I was reading about. That's probably a spoiler.
Oh, okay. I think I have an idea probably what you're talking about. So
maybe
we'll see. All right. Do scores now or do scores?
Sure.
I'll give it like a 7.5.
Yeah, I think that's a fair score.
That's a 7.5. It's another middle of the pack Star Wars movie.
Yeah. Is it your favorite of the trilogy?
No.
Yeah,
I still probably say The Force Awakens.
Yeah.
I also this I'm gonna get a lot of hate on the internet for this. I still maintain that even with this movie being okay, Disney's the best thing to ever happen to Star Wars. I still maintain that from just everything. I mean, The Mandalorian's awesome. Yeah, the side movies are all awesome. Like I like Solo's good and Rogue One's real good, and all the TV stuff they're doing is real good. Best thing to happen to Star Wars. Fight me.
I like a lot that they've done, and I like a lot more than the internet
yeah
says. But at the same time, like, I don't know if Star Wars fans like Star Wars. Like, it's just ridiculous.
They don't. Star Wars fans kill Star Wars.
Like, I'm sorry. Like, to me, and I'm going to get a lot of hate for this, Star Wars fans are the most toxic fan base on the internet.
Oh, you're not wrong.
They want everything to be exactly like they fucking want. And there are things that Disney has fucked up. There's things George Lucas fucked up that just make no sense or could have been cooler. Like, I'm not saying none of that doesn't deserve criticism, but it's like, just calm down. It's fucking Star Wars. It's fine.
Yeah.
Like, to me, like, you're fucking killing Star Wars. I don't know. Yeah. It just drives me fucking crazy. I can't stand hardcore Star Wars fans sometimes.
I get that. I get that. Star Wars fandom is really toxic at times, so.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about any spoilers?
Yeah, maybe just a few.
Frank, you might want to clog your ears if you care. No? You don't give a shit?
It's fine. Like, all the other Star Wars I've watched so far have been spoiled for me, so why does it matter?
Alright,
That's fair.
We go. Alright. One thing I think is pretty cool about this movie is it's kind of a thing that I feel like upon a second viewing, you'd probably catch up more. You'd probably catch more because it's not telegraphed very well. And as Finn, have you thought about what Finn was going to tell Rey? And think about Finn and some of the things he says throughout the whole movie. Like, he feels it. Mm-hmm. Finn is force sensitive. And I think that's what he was going to tell Rey.
Oh, probably.
And the more I was kind of reading up on that, I'm like, that is really fucking cool. Okay, and then there's the whole thing of like, maybe that's why he didn't want to be a stormtrooper anymore too, because he felt it, he sensed it, sort of thing.
He felt what was coming. Yeah.
And I'm like, that is really.
It kind of almost that's a cool callback to The Force Awakens with him being the main one to wield the lightsaber the whole movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's cool. I mean, some spoiler stuff. So we find out who Rey's parents are.
Yep.
She's a Palpatine, but not in the way that I would originally thought. She's his granddaughter, which is a weird thought.
There's a few things about this. One, someone banged Palpatine, which is gross.
Yeah.
Two, I felt like, so are his children not powerful? There was nothing, and this is one of the things that I wish they would have just had maybe a couple more lines from him to say something. I don't fucking know. Just explore a little bit more. Like, was his children not powerful? Why didn't he like his children? Like, what the fuck? He doesn't even talk about them. He just instantly goes to like, you're my granddaughter and you have my powers and all this stuff. It's like, what about your own children?
Yeah.
Like, what? Well, maybe they don't or something. And somehow Rey has it. I don't know. But I just thought there was a little more there. I wish they could have.
I mean, personally, I would have gone with the fact that she's like a clone somehow. That's how I would have handled that. And I think that would have maybe worked a little bit nicer, less messy, but
Yeah, and also to me, Palpatine being back is just the most fucking absurd thing about this entire movie.
Oh,
he falls in the hole. The Death Star blows up. Like, all this stuff. It's like, how did he survive that? Did he survive that? It's wild.
I wish they took a little bit more time to kind of build up to him being back. Like, I don't know. Like, give like the first hour.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I'm not going to take credit for this idea, but like, what if The Last Jedi ended with a little teaser of Palpatine, or he says that he cloned Snoke. Like, what if we saw another Snoke clone? Just something small like that. That's where that whole creative vision comes back again. Like something small like that could have not only made The Last Jedi better and make it just better and more cohesion with this whole trilogy. So I agree with you.
Yeah. What did you think of the Kylo Ren redemption arc?
So I loved Kylo Ren throughout this whole movie, in that he was just fucking crazy, and he wanted to, and that's what's interesting of about him, is that, you know, he wants to just literally take out everyone in his path. And I loved that he was finally in charge of the First Order. I guess there's technical things to that then that you learn about, but still, I loved just everything about it. I loved him in his connection to Rey is the best part about this whole trilogy of movies. So there's a lot that I loved about him. I ultimately like where he ended up, because, you know, there's the whole scene with him and Han, and I guess,
which was a great surprise.
Was that Leia Force? What is it?
I don't think it was necessarily anything.
Like,
I don't even really think Han was actually there, like, in any sort of thing. Like, I almost kind of saw it as this is him coming to this sort of realization, and he's kind of in a parallel coming back to the moment where he thought that he had finally, you know, gotten rid of the good in him, but it turns out it's not gone. Like, or maybe he was there, but because he's not a Force ghost, so I just always kind of assumed that. Yeah, I mean, maybe it could have been Leia, but she was already like dead. So I don't know
that's my only thought, is that she goes, or Maz Kanata says, like, she realizes what she has to do, and I thought maybe that was that, because it's after that then she Force ghosts and disappears, but then I guess Kylo ends up doing the same thing. To save Rey. Which I thought was like, I thought it was just really powerful. And fantastically written.
I don't.
He was broken.
He's broke. Yeah, I don't have. Also, I don't have as much of an issue as probably a lot of people do of, I guess, them being a thing right before he dies. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I get it.
I don't have an issue with it, but I love it.
I've seen it coming. Like, I was like, man, this is gonna happen.
Yeah, it's
but
weird.
I don't think there's anything else necessarily that's like a big.
Well, what about the very, very end?
The very, very end? I mean, I guess it's one of those things where if they had more time, they could play up subplots to make that make better, because, you know, Rey says she's a Skywalker, which I do like, but I just wish that maybe, and I like that it ends on Tatooine. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's cool. But, like, if they would have there would have been more of, like, a subplot, more about, like, family and stuff like that, and maybe, like, a realization, like, this is my family, not, you know, not Palpatine. Like, if they would have done that, then I think that would have been much more interesting, because then it's like, then that makes sense. She's choosing her family. It's like, boom, there you go. But, like, you can kind of read between the lines and kind of get there, but, like, yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, I don't know if I love it, sort of thing, but I like that it is on Tatooine.
Yeah,
and I like what she does with the sabers. I thought the lightsabers, I thought that was really well done. And what I was saying about Leia, so you learned that, and there was hints of it in, like, Return of the Jedi, that she was Force sensitive too.
Yeah.
And you learned that she could use the Force, Luke trained her, all this stuff. What if we knew a little bit more about that in The Last Jedi, when she has her ridiculous moment, which is still the worst part of that fucking movie?
Yeah.
Not that would totally make that part better, but that was such a shock watching that.
Or even bring it up in if you like the idea. Because here's the other thing too, which is maybe this would even work better there. Bring it up in The Force Awakens. Yeah. When they talk about Luke, you know,
something. Because I think her relation to the Force, I love, in that she could use it. She just chooses not to.
Because she's like, man, my lightsaber is gonna, or something like, is gonna kill my son, or whatever she saw.
I love her relation to the Force in this whole fucking saga. I think it's awesome. So yeah, that was. I thought that was a really cool thing.
I can't really think of too much else.
Yeah, I'm trying
That's
to,
like
trying to think. One, I think probably the most like holy fucking shit moment was when, first of all, one of the sickest shots in all of Star Wars, and it was in the trailer when they're on that desert planet, and Kylo's coming for Rey in the fucking.
And she flips.
And she flips. Oh my god, it's so sick. But then those two like fighting each other, sort of, and then you think Chewie died.
Yeah.
And it's like.
I mean, I sat there and I'm like, there's no way.
What if they did it though?
Yeah, I was like, man, like this isn't Game of Thrones though. Like they wouldn't just off him just like that. I mean, they got to do like a thing. And then I was like, there's another transport, isn't there? You never saw him get on that particular one. I saw him take off. I'm like, there's there's something about this. And I'm like, oh, thank God.
Yeah, but still, like that was a crazy fucking moment. Yeah.
Yeah, good shit.
Yeah, it's a fun movie. I definitely want to see it again.
Yeah.
Because I had a good time.
I did too. Now at some point.
I had a good time in hindsight, I'll say. Like, I didn't know how to feel about this movie when it was over.
I've seen that. That's the general consensus of a lot of people walking out of the movie.
And
like,
it's
man.
just because it throws so much at you constantly. You just have no time to really process it. And you just kind of walk out of the theater like, what the fuck did I just watch?
Yeah.
I think I liked it. It might have been a bad movie. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a fair assessment. I think, yeah, this is definitely like a movie you have to see a couple times in order to grasp it.
Yeah, I want to see it at least one more time before I, as most Star Wars fans like to do, figure out their ranking.
Yeah, which we should do that again because now that all of them are out.
Probably should. We did that only when Force Awakens was out.
Right when the Force Awakens come out. Now, yeah. Assuming we should just do no. I'm just thinking, should we just do the saga movies if we were to do a ranking? Like just the 9 main ones.
The other two.
Okay.
Yeah.
Makes it a little more interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
But.
So yeah, let us know what you think of Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. Also, just because I always find it just interesting. I'm very curious how much money this movie's going to make. Now, of course, it's going to make a lot of money.
But is it going to make like?
I think so. Force Awakens made $2 billion. Last Jedi made 1.3. To me, I'll be shocked if this movie hits 1.3 of Last Jedi, just because of the reaction,
the critical reaction
to
the audience. I looked on Rotten Tomatoes. The audience scores in like the 80%. So people like it. It's just that critics don't like it.
Yeah.
Which is the exact opposite consensus that The Last Jedi had.
Yeah.
Which is like, all right.
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll see. I mean, of course, Mandalorian's cool. We'll be getting more Disney Plus stuff. But yeah, not another Star Wars movie until 2022.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have directors anymore.
You know what? It's probably a good thing.
I agree. I think this...
Give us a couple years
I
break.
want this franchise to go away, at least in terms of the big budget movies, to go away and literally come back with something completely fucking new. Of course, it can have some ideas, maybe, of this universe, but totally new. To me, it should have absolutely no attachment to this whole fucking storyline.
Yeah.
Because it's a whole galaxy.
Yeah.
There's a lot of shit out there.
Do a movie based on one planet. You stay on one planet the whole time.
Yeah. To me, you do something completely fucking new, or you go completely backwards.
Do the Old Republic. Yeah.
That'd be fucking awesome. And that's apparently what the Game of Thrones.
What originally was going to be.
Who knows if they'll keep that going?
Yeah, we'll see. And also, Rian Johnson's got his movies that's coming up, I think, still. So
look, I'm looking forward to that because Rian Johnson's a good fucking filmmaker.
He is.
I saw Knives Out, completely fucking loved it. I think The Last Jedi is a pretty alright movie.
Yeah.
The episodes of Breaking Bad he did, excellent.
Oh, he did. I'll have to look see what episodes he did.
Yeah. So, yeah. Let's know what you think. Thanks for watching.